What's up, guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we are reacting to a Twitch request. This comes from Bertil, who says, Sweden today. Well, that's the title of the video. Touring the High Coast. This is Ådalen 31. Okay, this is from a channel called Höga Kusten. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. Höga, or is it Höga? Höga. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Guys, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's jump right into it. Let's use a bigger screen for this one. What do you guys think? Okay, ready? Let's go.
There was an incident of great historical significance that occurred near the town of Kramfors here on the High Coast in the 1930s. It changed the political and social landscape of modern-day Sweden. In the autumn of 1930, at the beginning of the Great Depression, the management of a sawmill announced wage cuts for all workers. In response, the workers began a strike which spread to two other local mills in early 1931. At this stage, the management called in strike breakers to get the mills working again. And just here, a couple of hundred meters from where I'm standing, the boats were moored here where the strike breakers actually slept and lived at that time.
I didn't know this expression before, strike breakers. So they're the people who step in, temporary workers who step in when there's a strike, right? So it's not really like they're not on the, they're not part of the union. They just come in to fill in the gaps. That's what he means by that, right?
This led to widespread protests which ended with the Ådalen March.
Ådalen.
4,000 strikers marched to the sawmill where the strike had begun. Fearing for the safety of the strikebreakers and general order, the county government had called in 60 national soldiers the night before to deal with a large number of demonstrators.
Wow. Wait, they need 60 soldiers for the demonstrators? Thank you so much. Thank you, Susan, for the coffee request.
When the strikers reached the sawmill, the soldiers ordered the strikers to stop, but the marchers continued, claiming their right to demonstrate.
Oh no, what happened?
At this point, the soldiers opened fire, killing 4 demonstrators and a young bystander, as well as injuring 5 more.
Oh no!
The monument to the shootings is actually here on the spot where the shootings actually took place.
They actually opened fire on peaceful demonstrators.
News and photographs of the incident spread quickly throughout Sweden. In Stockholm, 80,000 people demonstrated to protest the killings. A truly amazing organizational feat considering there was no TV, internet and social media back in those days.
That's crazy. 80,000 people who went to the streets back in those days. So at first they were striking the one thing and then they started striking another thing, which is like ironic because they were demonstrating. They were there striking because they wanted probably better pay, probably, you know, different benefits, work, you know, benefits. And then that led to 4 deaths or 5 deaths. And then that's so crazy. And then that led to an 80,000 people. Dude, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. That's crazy. And back then, it's interesting because on the weekend, 2 days ago, Saturday, we had a very large demonstration here also in London. In central London, there were more than 100,000 people. And I saw the pictures. It actually looks like there is more. But can you imagine back then how that would look? Because the population was lower back then, no social media, nothing, and they still got 80,000 people in the streets. That's absolutely probably unheard of back then. Was this the biggest back then, or at least to date, or no?
Throughout Sweden, In Stockholm, 80,000 people demonstrated
That's
to
in Stockholm
protest the
alone.
killings. A truly amazing organizational feat considering there was no TV, internet and social media back in those days.
It's crazy, isn't it?
The Ådalen shootings of 1931 were highly influential in the creation of modern Swedish society as we actually find it today. The Social Democratic Workers' Party, a party for the common people, swept to power in 1932 and have actually remained the main political force in Sweden up to the present day. Their ideology very influential in the creation of the social welfare institutions that really characterize modern-day Sweden.
That's wow. Hey, at least it led to change, right? Unfortunately, things like this happen, and that's the only way change comes, which is horrible because change should come before. This was like the Haymarket massacre of Sweden. I don't know if I'm familiar with the Haymarket massacre of Sweden. Don't know what that is, but the Ådalen shooting, is that taught in schools or no? It's so crazy. When he said 60 soldiers, I thought they were ununiformed, you know? Or I don't know. At first, when he said they called upon 60 soldiers, I thought the soldiers were gonna help and work, you know, be strike breakers, like volunteers. But then when he said to control the protests, I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. And then when he said open fired, I didn't even imagine that they were armed. But I think they called the soldiers because the soldiers were armed, because the police in Sweden aren't armed, right? Is that what I understand? Or at least they have weapons, but they're concealed, like in their car. Is that what I understood last time we saw about unarmed police? But that's so crazy. It's mentioned in school, but it's not a big topic. I mean, it did shape a lot of things, you know, from this incident. But 80,000, that's a lot. The police are armed in Sweden. Oh, I thought that was the whole Nordic thing. I thought it was the full Scandinavia. But it's only in Norway? In Sweden, they are armed? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. In any case, guys, we're gonna go check out more stuff. Thank you, Bertel, for this request. Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, if you want to request a video, go over to Buy Me Coffee. Link is in the pinned comments, or go over to Twitch. And you can also watch full movie reactions through Patreon. All the links are in the description and pinned comments, guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.